introduction of yours so that I come to know more about you. Actually, I know a bit about you because we are on the group almost, but I know you need your introduction for me as well as for my viewers, right?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yes.
As you already know, my name is Anand Mahajan. I live in Kurukshetra city of Haryana.
Okay.
And I have completed my economics honors from Delhi University. Originally, I am from Punjab State. And,
Okay.
for the last many years, I have been creating online courses, and my online courses are related to computer programming, coding.
Okay.
So I have created courses on programming in C, C++, Java, Python, data structures, etc. But
Okay.
now I have switched my profession, and now I am working as an online spoken English trainer. So I help those people who are struggling with their English speaking skills, and
Okay.
those people who have this aspiration to take their English speaking skills to the next level.
Okay. That's so much about you. And like you are teaching us also, like in the group. So you are so helpful. I can call you, I can give you a kind title of a legend. You are a legend,
Oh my
what is
God,
it? Really. So
that
you
is
are
very
helping
kind of.
us also. And like you are very helping person. What I can say is that.
Thank you,
So
sir.
for you, the title goes as the legend Anand Mahajan.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
So now it's my turn to introduce myself to you. Yeah. So as you know, I am Alka and I'm connecting you from Lucknow. It's the capital of UP. If I talk about my academics, then my academic background, then I masters in English, and that too very long. So I don't remember the exact year when I completed my masters. And of course, about my hobbies, though I love to read a lot. So I grab some moments for me to read something because I'm into reading. So before going to bed, I read something, whether it be like one para or 10 lines or 15 lines, anything, whatever. But the content should be of English. So I try to read before going to bed. And the other thing is that when I feel exhausted, so I listen to music, some favorite songs of mine. So I listen to them. So that's it about me. And yeah, of course, I have a channel by the name Rise with Alka where I'm uploading videos, conversational videos. So,
I
like,
have subscribed to that. I have
oh, thank
subscribed to
you.
that.
Oh, yes, yes, I know that. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. So, I'm working on that. Yeah, that's it about
Great,
me. Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Okay. So, I have one question. Like, let's discuss about that.
please.
There
Yeah.
are, yeah.
Mm.
So the biggest myth about the spoken English, right? What are those myths about spoken English that a person need to do this and that? So what I think is that the first myth about the spoken English is that a person should be well versed with grammar, and the accent should be the person needs to have a like foreign accent. But it's not that. What according to me, it's not that. We need to have a basic grammar of us to speak good English. And there are many things about confidence, about communication, about practice, and listening skill, consistency. So all these are required to have a good knowledge about English, about spoken English. I mean to say. So what do you think? What are the? Is it a myth that a person needs to speak good grammar?
Yeah, ma'am. Whatever you have said, I really align with that. I
Yeah.
concur with your views, and you are on the money. I don't know why grammar is something which has been overrated.
Huh.
It has been overrated.
Yeah.
So most of the times what happens is we think that unless we become perfect in grammar, we can't become a proficient English speaker, fluent English speaker. The reason being like because it has been something this kind of impression we have got in our schools,
Yes.
because teachers, they used to lay a lot of emphasis on grammar.
Yes.
I'm not denying the fact that grammar is, of course, that is the backbone of learning English language, and it is mandatory to learn grammar. But in my
Yes.
opinion, because
Mm.
all of us we have studied from Indian schools, and it goes without saying that in all Indian schools, English is one of the compulsory subjects. So that means we are already familiar with the basic grammar and basic vocabulary, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
in my opinion, I am of firm belief that if you have the knowledge of basic grammar and basic vocabulary, you
Yeah.
can easily, you can build an edifice over it, because you have
Right.
got a solid foundation of basic grammar and basic vocabulary. After
Right.
that you can build a huge building, and because
Yes.
foundation is good. But most
Yes.
of the times we are thinking that unless we read the whole grammar, unless we become
Mm.
perfect in the whole grammar, only then we will become proficient, we will become
Yeah.
confident in English speaking. No, that is not true. No,
Of
in
course.
my opinion, we, in my opinion, we should become a good observer. You know,
Right. Right.
after having, post having basic knowledge about anything, we should become a good observer. Now,
Yes. Yes.
if we observe those people who speak impeccable English, who are having excellent command over English language, when we observe them, when we observe how they are framing the sentences, how they are using advanced grammar. I'm talking
Yes.
about advanced
Yeah.
grammar. There
Yeah.
is no need to just jot down all those advanced grammar rules on the notebook and try to cram
Right.
it. So that will land us nowhere. We are not going to achieve
Of
anything
course.
out of this.
Of course.
By
Yes.
observing those people, with full focus and with full concentration, we can learn that grammar, advanced grammatical rules, effortlessly. So
Yes.
observation
Exactly.
is the key in that case. So we will automatically, like, we would be able to, because we will see in which situation that person has used this difficult sentence that uses advanced grammar, and gradually it will become our second nature to use that advanced grammar in our own conversation. So,
Yes.
in my
Yes.
opinion, observation is something. So we should never think, we should never be under this myth that
Yeah.
we have to be, we have to have a great knowledge of grammar. We have to have complete knowledge of grammar.
Yeah. It's
Having the
not
basic
that.
knowledge is sufficient. After that,
Yeah.
become a good observer, and automatically you will come. I will give you an example.
Yeah.
All of us, by the time we reach the age of 4 or 5, we start speaking our native language,
Yes.
very fluently. We are
Yes.
able to express our,
Yes.
thoughts. We are able to say whatever we want to say very easily to our parents, to our siblings, or
Yes.
to whomsoever we want to convey
Uh-huh.
our message.
Yeah. Yeah.
How come this is possible? We can easily have. I just want to say, has there been any time when our parents, our elder siblings, they made us sit beside them and they started, elaborating on the grammatical rules of the our native language? No, it
No.
never
Never.
happened.
No.
Without learning, even the intricate grammatical rules of our native language, we started speaking it by the time we turned 4 or 5.
Ah.
You know,
Yes.
so that means, how did we learn? By observing
Yes.
our
Yes. Yes.
parents, by observing
Mm.
our elder siblings, our relatives, our neighbors, and our friends. So
Yes. Of course.
observation is the key to become fluent in any language.
Language.
That
Yes.
is why it proves that grammar has been
Yeah.
overrated, as far as
Ah.
English language is
Exactly.
concerned.
Exactly. And what I think is that even accent is not necessary. Why to copy the accent like American and British? I love to speak in my like plain language. I'll never go for any accent. And I love to when people speak. See, I've spoken to one person very long back. I think 2 years ago. So that person used with me totally British accent. But I couldn't get nothing, what he was saying. Again, it was very embarrassing for me to say, come again, please, once again. So it was too embarrassing. And anyhow, I just cut short, by giving him some excuse. Because I
Oh,
thought,
okay.
how will I talk to that person? It's very difficult for me to understand. So what I think is even accent is not necessary. People think that to speak in good English, we need to have a good accent of all. So it's not that at all. And we should actually not aim for for perfection. Like never
Exactly.
aim for that perfection. Aim for confident communication, right? So that is
Exactly. Exactly.
yes. And say I have read somewhere an example of a cycle. So somebody is riding a cycle. So before riding the cycle, he's not perfect. The perfection comes and the improvement comes when he's riding every day, when he's
Hmm.
practicing the cycle, right? So that
Exactly.
practice, that consistency, it matters a lot.
Exactly. We both are on the same page. I tell you one
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
whenever suppose I happen to come across any Indian person, you know,
Yeah.
or any
Yeah.
person from from our neighboring countries, from
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, or
Yeah. Yeah.
like a person belonging to one of these countries, whenever they start speaking in British or American accent, I don't know whether I should say this or not, I get very irritated.
Yes.
I get very irritated. The
Absolutely.
reason being, I'm an Indian. You also belong to the same region.
Yes. Right.
So all if we talk about Southeast Asian countries, everywhere
Yes.
Indian accent is being used, and in my opinion, Indian accent is the best accent in the world. I will
Yes.
tell you
Right.
with the help of an example. When
Yeah.
I started creating online courses, so many people they told me that I should be publishing them on Udemy, udemy.com. Some people pronounce it as Udemy.
Okay.
So on
Okay.
udemy.com is one of the biggest online learning platforms where you can
Okay.
find courses related to the topics, any related to any topic under the sun. So I
Okay.
started creating before starting. I was a bit
Hmm.
before starting publishing my courses, I
Yeah.
was a bit skeptical. I thought that I speak in Indian accent when I will be speaking English in Indian accent, because so many students they are interested in enrolling in the courses offered by Udemy, so they won't
Uh-huh.
be buying my course because I speak Indian accent. Then
Hmm.
I shot off an email to Udemy people. I said that I speak in Indian accent, and this is my sample audio. So,
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised after receiving their reply. They told me that Indian accent is the most understandable accent in the world.
Yes.
So
Yes. Right.
it will be an asset for you if you will be speaking in Indian accent, because cutting across the countries, cutting across the subcontinent, cutting
Yeah.
across the continents,
Huh.
every person would be able to understand your accent. So that is why I say
Right.
that if
Right.
we are
Yeah.
Indians, why there
Hmm.
is need to speak in British or American accent that we are not familiar with?
Of
Even I'm
course.
not able to make out even a single sentence if a person is speaking in British or American accent.
Of
This is
course.
has to be learned only by those people who are dealing with foreign clients. That is okay for them.
Ah,
Uh, you
right.
know. Hmm.
Right. And what I think, even the foreign clients, if you're dealing with a foreign client, there are many Indians, like I've seen my sons also, they are dealing with the foreign clients and they speak a normal language, like normal accent of ours. And they get, the way my sons, they talk, they communicate. So they are getting, they can understand our accent very well. But
True.
for us, it's difficult to understand their accent.
True.
Right.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So this was,
Absolutely.
yeah. So my second question is that why do some people learn English for years? They are learning for many years and still they fail to speak fluently. Right. So why
Yes.
it happens? I think consistency matters a lot, practice and all that. So what is your opinion about that?
Actually, again, the this thing also boils down to this fact that we people lay a lot of emphasis on grammar. You tell me one thing.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
any Indian school, starting from our primary grade till our 12th grade, or for that matter, till our 10th grade or our 12th grade, we
Yeah.
people are, having English as one of the compulsory subjects. You know,
Yes.
so that means we are reading this subject for more than 12 years. And
Ah,
despite this fact, when we pass out from our school, we are not able to utter even a single sentence in English. What is the
never. Yes.
reason?
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason is, what we used to do in school was we would be drawing a vertical line over on the pages of our notebook. On the left side, we will be writing words or idioms. On the right side, we will be writing their meaning. This is
Yes,
not how you
exactly.
can learn a
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
are
Yes.
just cramming the
Yes.
words and meanings.
Yes.
Because I always support this idea that, like in schools and colleges, we have physics labs, chemistry labs, biology labs. On the same lines, we should have English speaking labs also.
Oh,
you know
exactly. Yes.
that is
Yeah.
very important,
Yeah.
because we
Mm.
are just reading and writing English, and when we go out in the market and we are looking for lucrative plum jobs in the market, only then
Mm.
we come to know that how important English speaking
Yes.
skills are. So
Yes, I,
nowadays it has become of paramount importance that we should be well communicative in English language. So the reason is, the first reason, that is, we lay a lot of emphasis on grammar, and grammar is something which is to be, it is an open secret that grammar is something which is always very intimidating. if you try
Yes,
to
right.
go down the rabbit hole and you try to learn
Yeah.
everything related to grammar. As I said, it is very easy to learn grammar, but only through observation, not by reading
Yes,
the
right,
and
right.
trying to cram the grammatical rules.
Right.
So
Yes.
that is the reason. And most of the times what happens is I come across many such people who say that I watch Hollywood movies, I read a lot of books, I watch a lot
Yes.
of podcasts, I watch a lot of English YouTube videos, but yet I cannot speak English. Why? This is not the way to become
No.
fluent in English.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are just practicing reading and listening. And
Yes.
after reading or listening, you think that you will become fluent and confident in English speaking.
No,
This
he's
is,
speaking.
yes, this
Yes,
is
he's
something,
speaking. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is a far cry. It is a distant dream. You cannot do that. So
Yeah.
what is required is speaking practice, because
Yes.
a language is not a subject. In fact, it is a skill, and a skill can be achieved only through practice. Any skill
Definitely.
can only
Definitely.
through practice. Like
Yes.
if suppose I just get hold of a book, and that is on swimming. So I'm reading what are the different steps to learn swimming, how you can swim. So by reading a book, I cannot become a
No,
swimmer.
never.
I will have to
Yes.
jump into the
Yes.
swimming pool, and then
Yes.
only then I can learn. So similarly, reading, listening, it is a good practice. All the all the aspects, be it reading, writing, listening,
Yes.
speaking, they are equally important. But we
Right.
just we are just focusing on the first three, and we are just ignoring the most important one, that is speaking. So to become
Yes.
fluent in English, there is only one mantra, that is speak, speak, and speak. The more you speak, the more you become fluent. So it
Fluent.
is,
Right.
you know, it is a lack of English speaking practice that holds us back, and we are not able to speak English. And at times we
Right.
get very frustrated. Yeah, I have been studying English for the last so many years, and I'm not being
Yes.
able to speak it. How you will be able? And consistency and perseverance, these are the two things which have to
Yes.
be followed. If
Yes.
you think
Right.
that I will be practicing English speaking for 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week,
No,
no.
no, no. It
You
won't
have to
happen.
practice it daily without fail. Only
Yes.
then you can become fluent English
Yes.
speaker.
Yes.
And
Yes.
moreover, what we people do is like most of the times, even then, even when we are trying to practice English speaking, what we do is uh, we will be translating from our native language, from our mother tongue to English language. So we will be using our brain, our mind,
Right. Right.
for the translation. And
Right.
this is something which is very detrimental, that plays a
Yes.
spoil sport.
Yes.
you know
Yeah. Yeah.
and initially we will have to do it when we are at the beginner level, but it is called translation lag, and translation lag is something that spoils the whole game.
Yes. Of
So
course.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, and
Right.
we should start thinking in English. First, start thinking small sentences like, "I'm going to have my dinner." I will simple say, "The dinner has been laid out by my mother. I'm going to have
Yes.
my dinner. My
Yes.
friend is calling me. I'm getting a phone call. I'm going up the stairs. I'm going. I'm climbing the stairs. I'm climbing down the stairs." Speak simple sentences.
Yes.
So this
Right.
kind
Right.
of practice is very necessary.
Of course. So you answered very well my both the questions. And of course, grammar, like when we spoke about grammar, it automatically, I think when a person speaks daily with the practice, grammar, automatically we will speak good English. We will get to know where we are wrong, where we are right. If we are speaking like an influence, and the fluency comes from the practice, daily
Exactly.
practice, and
Exactly.
be consistent. So, what is the last key? Like, what is the one advice for my learners you want to say about spoken English?
Like there is one liner that I always say, that treat English as a language, not as a
Yes.
subject.
Right, right. Not as
Because
a
as soon
that.
as
Yes,
we think about it being a subject,
yes, yes,
it is it intimidates our mind, and we think, because
yes,
subject has always been since our school days, like we will
yes,
have to score, we will have to fare well in this. So just treat it as a subject. And one more thing, I don't know why English, it has been put on such a high pedestal, that while speaking English, if we would be making any mistake, it should be a matter of shame for us. we should feel embarrassed. We will be
No,
humiliated.
no,
People will
nothing.
laugh at
Yes,
us. People, I will become the laughing stock of the audience and all that. This
yes.
is something, and it is
It's
of
wrong.
paramount importance that we should be, we should ward off and we should get rid of these kinds of apprehensions, because
Yes, right.
English is just a language. If my native
Absolutely.
language is Hindi, I know while speaking Hindi I make a lot of mistakes, but at that time
Yes.
neither I will feel embarrassed nor the audience will make fun of me. I don't know
Nobody,
why this
nobody,
kind of mentality is there. After
nobody.
all, English is not our native language, it is an
Yes,
alien
right,
language for
right.
us. So
Yes,
we
yes.
shouldn't be treating English as something as if it has come from heavens, or it should be
No, no,
treated
it's not
separately.
like that. Not like that.
Exactly.
So what I think is that when the person watches this video of ours, that person will get to know so many good things from you. They will learn many things from you by watching this video. So thank you, Anand. It's
Thank you
time
so
for
much.
me to wind the session now.
Thank you so
So
much for having me
yes,
on your channel.
yes, it
Thank you
was
so much.
nice talking to you today. It was
Same,
very nice.
same,
Yeah, yesterday
same.
I'm like in a couple of days I was trying to do conversation with you, but anyhow I couldn't do the previous client. I think you were busy with some sessions, right?
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
yes, and today automatically we have did this.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you so much, Anand.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Yes,
you so
and
much.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye, bye.